Hello and welcome back to the top 100 maps of all time with me, BonBonB. I'm BonBonB, you're very, very welcome. And today we have the final one of those maps. You know, those maps, the ones that I no longer have permission to show, so we have to show something different instead. Well, today we have one of those, but I've been saving this one. Until the very, very end. This map that you see down below is my absolute recommendation. If you're a vanilla player with a potato of a PC, I promise you this is the way to go. This map down below, you will be very happy indeed. We'll get to it in a moment, but first of all, let's do the important job of saying this isn't the fourth best map of all time. We'll get to its actual position a bit later on. The fourth best map of all time, as voted by you, is Santos by Eggsy. Now again, obviously Eggsy has removed permissions to use his maps on this channel, which is fair enough. It's fair enough, and I completely respect that. So what I'm going to do is I'll send you to the link to the original review that I did way back in episode 1571, way back. just last year, right? It scored 96.25% approval rating with you guys. A very, very popular map, very, very good map. Highly recommended. All the usual stuff I'll say. These maps don't get these high ratings by being rubbish. They are truly the elite maps, and if you want to go check it out, link is in the description, along with the link to the original map, which will be in the original review. So anyway, yes, Santos by Eggsy, the fourth best map of all time. But as we can't show it, I'm going to show you the map that, if I could take two maps with me, only to play forever in Cities Skylines, this is one of those two. The other one we've yet to see. I will tell you when it pops up. I think, again, regulars to the channel will already know what the second map is, and will already know which map you're looking at down below. In fact, because it's already in the thumbnail and the video title, you probably already know, right? Yes, this is Windy Plateau by nikolavrj. So this is 100% vanilla. In fact, it's got a vanilla theme as well, which is probably why it didn't do very well in the scoring. There's one thing that we know about YouTube is it's a very visual medium, and because the voting is done by people watching a WhatMap review, you're looking at it in the visual medium. Yes, I'm telling you if this has got some detailing problems, or if it's got some gameplay mechanic problems, I'll tell you all of these bits and pieces, but at the end of the day, it's still a visual medium. And yesterday's map, which, as I told you yesterday, is for me the greatest map of all time, except for one little problem. This for me is probably excluding the map that we saw yesterday, this for me is the second greatest map of all time, behind the map we haven't seen yet. So for me, this is an absolute go-to, an absolute must, and I am very disappointed it didn't perform very well with you guys. So what can I tell you about Windy Plateau? Well, nikolavrj, or Nikolav Jr. as I incorrectly called him for the longest time, until he pointed out that the J and the R and the R and the J are the other way around, and I don't know how to read, and he's quite right. It's absolutely right. Uses a temperate vanilla theme. We're using the realistic by Reaper LUT, and we'll continue to do that. But what I'm going to do to give this map a chance, all right, I'm going to switch the theme over to just a theme mix, I say a random theme mix. I've only got 3 saved at the moment. One of those is Bonbon Island, which I know isn't to everybody's taste, so I won't be using that one. I do have another one that we will swing by. I don't even remember which map it was that used it, but it's a little bit vanilla-ish, for want of a better phrase, but a little bit sharper than obviously what you get with the base game theme. So we'll be doing that. This map was uploaded to the workshop in October of 2019. It currently has 907 subscribers. It currently has 907 subscribers. 141 of those have marked it as a favourite, and judging by some of the comments, I reckon a lot of those were sent by the original WhatMap review. Has a 4-star rating on Steam from 83 votes. And I reviewed this in episode 762 of What's Map, where I gave it 4 stars for aesthetics, 4 for detail, and 5 for gameplay potential. Okay, so now you've got and as I've just said, this is one of 2 maps that I would take with me to the City Skylines Afterlife, and I've given it 13 stars. It just goes to show, and I've said this a zillion times, when some people get a bit hung up about not getting a 5th star. Yeah, oh, I deserve 5 stars for detail. You can't deny me a 5th star for aesthetics and all that kind of thing. Sometimes I'm not mentioning names, but I've got some thoughts. But anyway, yeah. At the end of the day, I don't honestly genuinely feel that the ratings that's more of a technical, so it's a technical score. You can have 5 stars for aesthetics, 5 for detail, and 5 for gameplay potential because of technically all of those things click. But you see a map and you go, but I'd never play it. Well, this is one that doesn't score triple 5s, and I would play it again and again and again. So this is where I'm going with that. It's croaky throat there. Right, so let's start off with switching the theme. You're not going to... This won't pop suddenly into something completely different, but I'm going to switch over to the Seaview Heights theme mix. Okay, I'm not even going to break down what the theme... All I'm going to say, because I'm choosing what is effectively a random theme, this was one that I had pre-saved. It could have been literally any theme, but this was, of the 3 that I've got pre-saved, I think this is the most generic of the 3. And if I just do that, there we go, we'll have it still has the same kind of heart as if I switch back to the back to here, back to the vanilla temperate. This is probably a little bit punchier, especially with the field painting. But we are going to go with the Seaview Heights because with this, it was only the 288th best map of all time as voted by you. Got a 72% approval rating. And I say you guys are so wrong. Okay? So wrong. There we go. Obviously, because I've switched from the vanilla theme to a custom theme, it might mean that some of the sand painting or something like that, because of the alpha tolerances, might not quite work. I've not been down to check. I honestly don't know whether it will work or not. But at the end of the day, it's probably going to be a little nicer to look at than the vanilla theme, because we certainly know what the vanilla mountains look like with vanilla temperate. Okay, and now on to... where do you think the start square is going to be? And I know that you're going to say to me, it's very clearly slap bang in the middle of the map right here, right? And I'm going to say, actually, surprisingly, no. And in some ways, I'm really, really glad. Remember, I gave this 5 stars for gameplay. In some ways, I'm really glad that it isn't, because what you would have here is a very generic, big old grid city block in the middle before spewing out to sides. Surely there's a more interesting way of playing it, and the answer is, if I swing this camera around down to here, over here is your start square. It's a little bit more challenging, which I think makes this a far more interesting build. Far more interesting build. Then, when I get my voice back, your second tile coming out this way gives you a good chunk of land. I haven't pushed out this way because this is the outer 2 tiles. So if you are playing vanilla rules without the 81 tile mod, you won't have access any further back this way. But there is a little bit of a challenge in terms of actually buying tiles to get to that big, gritty, windy plateau in the middle. So what I really like about this is it is a really lovely playable map, and if you're going to play Unlock All, you can start straight off building in that area. But if you're going to play it as a vanilla unlock game, first tile here, second tile maybe here, you might want to generate some more income before you can buy across to the other side. So maybe a third tile over here, and then you might be pushing up into this area. It's, for me, just different enough. It's not really the most conventional of start squares, but I think on this map it works really well. Now, what I'm going to do, though, is I think we're going to start... How about we start right at the top? I'm going right at the top. I'm going to get lost, by the way, here. Where do I want to be? Okay. All right, I've got a journey in my head. I don't know whether or not I'm going to be able to successfully follow through on that journey, but we'll give it a go. So, right. Yeah, Windy Plateau. This is the first time in years that I've actually had time to load this map up. There may be some standard issues in terms of this was 2019, so therefore there are going to be things like lane merges. Like, this isn't too bad actually, but for 2019 this was almost as good as you could have got, I would suggest, in terms of, like, obviously now with node control, intersection marking tool, all that sort of stuff. It's a different kettle of fish now, right? Different kettle of fish, but we have got a strong attempt. And remember, I gave this 4 stars for detail. I still think maybe this one could be a smoother line, but it's still very, very strong. And there's, I'll say, there'll be a few little grumbles here and there. And of course, the other thing to look at on this one is with the texturing, right? We're not using the correct theme here, so some of these textures might not really work. I mentioned that with the sand painting earlier. Some of the textures might not work quite as well as they should do. But again, I just want to give this map a chance. I want to give its 72% approval rating is way too low for this map. I promise you, this map is spectacular. Doing a little bit of crisscrossing here with the highways finding their way down and around. And we'll take a look at our first big old bridge, because big old bridge, right? Oh, was this a big old bridge back at the time, or was that before big old bridge became a thing? Yeah, again, you could say we got a slight jinky janky. There were some very slight minor gribbles on the map, but it's nothing here that was going to take me away from ever wanting to play this map. Ever wanting to play this map. So spectacularly done. We've got a few trees under the roads. Again, we know about that. We've mentioned it many times, as it's a 100% vanilla map. And remember, every tree you see here is going to be 100% vanilla, which you can mix up using Bob, the tree and network tree and prop and tree replacer. Sorry, the trees are, if we're playing 100% vanilla, we won't have anarchy. If there's no anarchy, there's no trees showing through the roads. They are still part of the tree count, so we do still show them on this channel. But yes, if you're playing 100% vanilla, they are not an issue at all. They are just tucked away, and it's fine. Trust me on this. I'm a BonBon. Right, moving on. We are now on the inside of this river loop. So we can follow this highway along until we get to where we're going to be forced to cross back out across the river loop. At that point, we're going to be roughly around about the start square. So that's my thought process there. So you look at this and you go, there's not very many buildable spaces, but there really are. Okay, what we're doing is we're following networks that are not encroaching into your city space at all. Let's have a little look at the river cutting through here. Okay, so yes, it's a map of incredible design. This is the thing with this map, is it's complex without being burdensome. It's clever, it encourages a city build whilst providing barriers. I mean, look, we've not really seen any buildable space yet on this drive-through, and yet it encourages city build. We come down here, little Luxie underneath here. Probably is missing a pillar in the middle. Again, I gave it 4 stars for detail, not 5. So I'm not actually sinning myself here, okay? Wonder how many more of these we're gonna have. Everybody's favourite factory. Getting close towards the end of the, unless of course everybody's favourite factory is included in Cities Skylines 2. I'm not sure it will be. Not as part of the base game, but maybe the modders will come and please the BonBon. I can see it now, like 7,000 iterations of people uploading and calling it BonBon's favourite factory or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, we've got a highway that has somewhat of a steep slope here. You might argue that actually you'd want that smoothed out a little bit. Maybe there's a slightly better route here. There are obviously going to be some things that can be discussed about being possibly a little bit better. I'm not saying it's perfect, but I'm saying, trust me, it's perfect. It's absolute. I do not want to be crossing the river here, by the way. Whereabouts on the map am I? I am here. I'm here. We're crossing. We are crossing via another big old bridge. Big old bridge. Taking us down into Start Square territory. I don't remember exactly where it is, but we have just looked at it. And it's this area here. If you're playing with the 81 tiles, look at, I mean, just this area alone is like, you want to build here, don't you? You can't even get that close to the river because of the way that we have actually like a bit of a soft canyon going on down here. You can do some building along the river's edge, but most of it is going to be up on the plateau there. Some just nice swirly about intersections. Very, very nice indeed. Right, so let's head on into the middle of the map, shall we? Shall we follow up this river first of all? There, let's look at the rivers first of all. Right, okay. So again, a nicely done river here with the rocks just framing these pillars. Loving the way that they've been done as well. Head up the river. We've got a dry river going off to the right. Hang on, was that a bump there? We got a bump, or is that terrain? That's not moving, that's terrain. That is, and what I really like about this, of course, is we've got the hints of rocks as well. So it does feel a bit like a river that should have rapids, right? Then we have a dry river heading up from here. Where's that going to head up to? I don't recall. But yeah, we've got, you can see in the wet season that the water's going to pour off the mountain there, come down via those two crossings. And then the main river can head up this way. But it's the way that the rivers break up the land. It just like over here, we have this one just comes off to the side here down to this lake. Did mention that I think the sand painting here might not work exactly. How hard is that to fix? It's really not hard at all. So yes, if there are going to be some minor glitches because I'm not using the correct theme, but the fields still work. The fields still work really well with the current theme, or theme mix, I guess. Another lake area up here. Again, oh, hello. We've got the floating rocks. Just at that one point. I haven't seen that for a few episodes. We've had vanilla rocks in the last few episodes and logs. They haven't floated, but in that one spot there, we have the floating rocks. That is a curiosity. I don't know why. It's very weird. It's very weird. There are some peculiarities with what's going on with mods and me at the moment, and I've given up trying to work it out. Okay, I'm just saying, I have given up trying to figure out what the actual problems are. Some interesting different lakes, again, just dotted around, breaking up the map and helping to frame the fields. If you look at that, good sized fields as well. So if you are looking to, this is probably ore. I reckon this is probably oil. Let's have a little look. Maybe the other way around now, won't it? No, there you go. So that is ore. This is nothing actually. Oil is in the lake. Okay. So you've got, oh, not lake. Hang on, let me just do that again. Oil is in this field, not in the lake. Right, so yeah, if you wanted to do like an oil refinery kind of area, that is a big enough space there to do an oil refinery build. If you wanted to do a quarry up here, you could just take this area here and utilize that for a quarry. The fields are absolutely suitably large enough to be able to do whatever you want with. And then the main build area. And if you're in any doubt about it being the main build area, first of all, it's 100% clear. It's 100% flat. And we've been given a absolutely magnificent interchange. Down here, just check to make sure. Yeah, the heights of the roads there are right on point too. So, oh, did I mention? Oh, yeah. Now, I forgot to mention in terms. Oh, we've got slight encroachment on the pillar there. Look at this. Forget what I said about this map. It's the worst map in the world. No, it's Windy Plateau, 100% vanilla, but it is a mass transit map. And also listed as a requirement is industries. Now, I'm not entirely sure where. I've not seen anything yet. There might be maybe an industries fence somewhere, or it might be an industrial road somewhere. Nothing's jumping out at me regarding industries, but industries is listed as a requirement. So if you haven't got industries, you could try loading up the map. If it doesn't load, then I'm sorry, but it's, as you can see, there's nothing really. It's only going to be networking that will cause you a problem. I'm not seeing any industries roads, and I'm not seeing any industries fencing, which would be the two things that might break the map. So why industries is listed, I'm not entirely sure. But it is, and therefore just something to bear in mind. But mass transit, you will need mass transit for this one. Anyway, that's one thing we haven't looked at. Oh, two things we haven't looked at. Let's have a little look at this little waterfall thing. There's that factory. Everyone's favourite factory. And then we have the water. I think it's supposedly pouring out of this here, coming from the lake at the top there. Oh, well, look, we've even got over here a little rail terminus station joblet going on there as well, which I'm sure you will make work if you want to have a rail terminus thing going on there. All told, magnificent. Couple of things. I think over here there was... Yep. There absolutely is. We have a dirt track leading up from the main road, leading to a dirt bridge there. We have a spike. I don't think that spike is supposed to be there. Pretty sure it's not. So there will always be potential glitches, always. But yeah, this is the entrance. Yeah, spike's clearly not meant to be like that. And then as we head around here, follow the dirt road up. It'll lead us up to... There we go. Up to the top, you get to the castle. Ooh, it's a castle. I mean, it's... The castles go, it's fine. Okay? There are definitely some talking points, but we won't worry too much about it, especially the cemetery. And there you got the dirt track leading down the other way into the field areas over here. So, nice castle there. And then we have this little wetland area over here as well, which, given the vanilla availability that we had back at the time, today we have some foliage that would make this area work really, really well. But instead of making it like a marshy area, you'll see that we do have it slightly elevated above the water levels. So we've got the little cliff edges going on. So it's it might be an area that you might want to work. Sirens, the BonBonBingo players. What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? What have we got? It's an ambulance. Right. So yes, this area here. I mean, I've got some really cool ideas for what I think this area here, with just working the terraforming a little bit, ignoring that it's meant to be some kind of marshy type area, I would turn this into a luxury homes area. We've got lots of waterways. You have lots of little intricate, like one little house on here, 2 or 3 houses down here. I would do that as like luxury homes. It's away from the hoi polloi in the big city. It's away from the farmers or all the dirt and whatever. And then basically just yachting. Maybe have some sort of yacht club down here. Do a little bit of terraforming down here. Make these lakes more saleable. I think that is just a bit different enough to again add to the possibilities for gameplay. All told, I've waffled long enough about what is my choice, BonBon's choice. It's not an all-star map. It's not a highly rated map. 72% approval rating from you guys is not an incredibly high score. But what it is it's a personal favourite. It literally is. It's my number 2 map of all time personally. And I am disgusted that you only have it down at number 288. You bad people. I'm just joking. There you go. Windy Plateau by nikolavrj, RJ. My BonBon's choice. Here to replace Santos by Eggsy, which was the number 4. The number 4 voted map as voted by you. So tomorrow we get down to the top 3, the elite, the echelon, the absolute best maps as voted by you, and we've got creators that are above everybody else, apparently, again, by your voting. Right, I'll be back tomorrow. Thanks for watching, for commenting, for liking and for subscribing. You have hit the like button, haven't you? I'm just checking. And the big shout out to the BonBon Buddies on YouTube membership and on Patreon for supporting the channel. You guys are the very, very best. I love you very, very much. And I'll see you all again very, very soon. Thanks for watching.